So after you run the pump, then you'll open the gate, then I'll open that gate to verify that it has pressure.
Yeah, somebody else standing over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a fireman.
There's no margin for error. Ed Shadle's life will depend on getting it right the first time. Already, tempers are flaring.
That's not it. John, shut your mouth.
And there are concerns. Hydraulics expert Bob Beisler is worried about the parts used in the steering system.
The hydrostatic valve that's in here, it's really not designed for something where you need really tight control. I mean, personally, it worries me, but, you know, we all have to work together on this project, and when you're kind of outvoted, you're kind of outvoted, but I hope nothing happens with it.
Even out of Bonneville, I race the other cars. You just don't put in a hard turn. If you do, you're going to wind up on your head.
It's so cold out here, I don't know if I'm going to get the Velcro to even stick.
And it's not just steering. This is a very short runway. If the parachutes malfunction, Ed Shadle won't have enough room to stop. The man with the job of keeping him safe is parachute expert Ed Drumheller II.
This is the technology that was used on a Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo spacecraft. And for this type of chute to malfunction is very, very rare. I think that we've got everything nailed down. There's nothing I'm worried about, except the weather.
With everything in place, it's all systems go. Time for the North American Eagle's first test run. Time to see whether 10 years of work has been worth it.
Testing goal for the day.
The first goal today is an engine startup. So Big Bill has the hot seat.
Nervous? Yeah. Are you excited? Yeah. I'm way too excited. I'm ready for this thing. I've been ready for a while. I want to hand the keys over to you, man. Start initiates on, and I'm in idle. Okay, I gotta light up the EGT.
But almost immediately, they realize something is wrong.
What's the tail cone look like? Is that open or closed?
The car won't run up to full power. It's getting stuck at 35%. Because not enough fuel is getting through. In the racing world, it's called a hang start.
Starter cut off.
Ed suspects that the fuel filters are clogged, but getting them out is a massive job.
I think the only thing we can do is if we can't get any more than that much power, we may just have to take that filter apart and see if we can get her. I'd hate to do that though. They get to it, and the son of a bitch. Yeah.
Well, let's give it one more shot and see what happens. We'll drag it back up.
But once again, same problem.
I have no throttle response whatsoever. It's hanging at 35. Well, folks, it looks like we got a little bit of a fuel problem when we're running. It's not bringing it up to past 35%. It's what we call a hang start. And we're going to try to solve that and then move on.
To do it, they tackle the electrics. The theory, crossed wires are causing the fuel pumps to work in reverse, starving the engine.
The relays have to be working, the frequency counter has to be working. We may have the phase in reverse on the pumps. On the shift generator, which would turn the fuel pumps backwards.
So systems expert Steve Wallace digs into the nest of wires in the electrical bay. An hour later, they try it again.
Yeah, give me power.
don't make any sense at all.
No, it doesn't, does it?
At this point in time, it's starting to look like it may not have anything really important to say.
I don't know what it could be.
Actually, the car wasn't plugged again. Oh!
Alright, let's try this again.
Let's try it again.
Come on,
The only thing I can imagine is if the fuel filter is maybe got enough crap in it that it's restricted. We have put a lot of fuel through this tank that was not, even though we vacuumed it out and all that good stuff, it's possible that the thing was, the pores are filled up now. So what we're going to do next is pull the thing back over to our pit area. We're going to drain the fuel out of the fuel lines and pull the fuel filter out and see if possibly it's plugged.
Although they spend all night tearing the car apart, what they discover is baffling. It's not the fuel pumps. They're not plugged. The problem remains a mystery, and the test run is delayed indefinitely. But what they fail to notice is a problem that's been lurking since the engine was first tested in Fort St. John and installed in Spanaway. What no one notices is the broken feedback cable. It's the feedback cable that helps deliver fuel to the engine. It's the feedback cable that has stopped this test run. And something else is missed. Something so crucial that in just a few days it will have a devastating impact on the project. A week after the failed test run, the North American Eagle team is trying again. Their goal, get their engine started. But nothing works. Worse, no one realizes that they're on the edge of disaster. Inside the North American Eagle, systems are failing. The car's had a hot start. Temperatures inside the engine skyrocket to 3,200 degrees Celsius, the surface temperature of an exploded star. The impact is devastating. The searing heat warps the protective honeycomb on the inside of the turbine section. Then, by mistake, raw fuel is blown in from the combustor. As the turbine blades, now spinning at 4,500 RPMs, begin striking the honeycomb, they create a spark, igniting the raw fuel. As the team pushes their car, the turbine blades finally blow up.
There's 3 turbine sections. Those are the hot sections where you have flames. Those sections actually melted the blades away, probably burned about 1/3 of it away and completely destroyed it.
It looks like the Eagles' run for the record is over. No engine, no challenge. With everything on the line, Ed calls Robin Sipe in Fort St. John. What Ed discovers changes everything. Robin's willing to sacrifice another one of his refurbished jet engines and plunder it for parts to rebuild the Eagle's fried J79. Robin works for weeks trying to get the engine to fire properly. Then, he makes a breakthrough. He finally discovers that broken feedback cable, the cable that shut down the first test run.
When the engine was installed to the car, some of the lines weren't connected correctly. The fuel control is critical. It's super critical. We call it infant mortality.